everybody, it's your captain here. I decided to build a park in Jurassic World Evolution. This is actually, you could kind of call it a 2.0 update to a park I did before, but since they added in some new stuff in the most recent patch, I thought, hey, I could make it more accurate to what it was supposed to be. Now, you may have remembered if you follow I streamed a live build of T-Rex Country Safari based off of the famous West Palm Beach, Florida based zoo Lion Country Safari, where the main attraction of the park is the ability to drive through the animal paddocks. Unfortunately, originally in this game, you weren't able to drive from paddock to paddock. You could only do one paddock at a time unless you were riding around in, one of these Jeeps here. These here. But now, in the most recent update, which included these lovely terrain tools that I have been having fun with, you can interconnect your tours. In this one, I use the Jurassic World tour with the little with the truck instead of the gyrosphere. Thought it was more fitting. But now you can connect them from paddock to paddock. So let's get the basics out of the way. This is the entrance to the park. That's the ranger station over there. Down that path is the incubators and the ACU. Nobody cares. There's nothing there. We have our secured emergency shelter here. Our greenhouse, because we gotta supply food for those herbivores. We got the big old center over here. I forget what it's called. Innovation Center. Yeah, the big fancy building. We got a gift shop, fast food, a bowling alley, whatever. Security center. A lot of people going into that for some reason. Science center. We have a small paddock in the back here. We got our clothes shop. We got a bar. The fossil zone, whatever that is. The restaurant. The toy shop. The arcade. And the hotel. And if you've seen any of my builds, I am freaking obsessed for some reason with building a Struthiomimus paddock around the hotels. It's just a thing I do. I build one, I breed a ton of different colored Struthiomimuses, and then I stick them in here. It's supposed to be like a callback to how some zoos have peacocks walking around. So while I can't actually have them walking around because it would cause panic, hey, here they are. Some of the terrain tools, the blah blah blah, goes back here. But let's get to the thing that you guys and girls are actually here to see and take part of. You go through here. This nice little, I'm kind of proud of this. This nice little entrance to the Jurassic Tour. Now, it'll take forever to just ride along, so we're gonna drive ourselves. So, onwards we go. Now, I started off with North American or USA-based dinosaurs. As you can see here, we have the Torosaurus. Off in the distance there, we have ourselves some Pachycephalosaurs. Seriously, I cannot talk good enough about the terrain tools. They make making paddocks so much fun. Hiding in the corner here, we have the Nodosaur. And then, right before the end of the first paddock, we have an Ankylosaur. Moving on to the next USA formation paddock. You can already see off in the distance that it is primarily sauropods. Whee! Going up the hill. This is way cooler than the gyrosphere. To our left we have the Brachiosaurus, which, holy crap, I can't see his head. There he is. Whoa! And luckily, since I'm driving, I don't have to wait for him to cross the path. Ah, we come across a small herd of Maiasaurs. Ah, and then we have a Parasaurolophus. Look at you. Oh, oh, he's going to sleep. Look at that. Oh. And over here we have our Diplodocus. You are cute and giant and good lord. And then here we have a Camarasaurus. Now the Camaras, I ultimately ended up putting them in the USA section, though they were in the Canada section. But I was like, you know what? USA. Oh, some more paras. And last but not least, the Apatosaurus. Very nice. Very beautiful creatures. Onwards to our first carnivore paddock. And it's one of the more basic carnivores, the big loner. We have the Allosaurus. Longingly looking at the woods beyond his gate. And now taking a nap. So, but like seriously, these terrain tools, I love them. God, this kills any of my other paddocks that or any of my other parks that I've done. Can't wait to do some more. I've got a really cool idea for a Florida one. Now, to our next North American, or USA formation, we have some Stegosaurids. Approaching the lake there, we have a Dracorex. Awesome name. Awesome, awesome name. There is the other Dracorex. Oh, climb up this big muddy hill. I'm probably talking over it, but I love the inclusion of the voiceover. It'll make my gyrosphere parks so much better. We have a Triceratops along with some Stygimolochs. Triceratops being my most favoritist of dinosaurs. And thankfully, because I'm driving, I can get around these guys. This tree, I love this tree and the terrain tools, but it is a pain in the ass to put down because of how big it is. But it is beautiful. You'll see it multiple times here. Let's move on to the next USA formation paddock. And because I'm driving, I'm just going to pass them. But as you can see, some Deinonychus ruining those people's tour. And all the beautiful palm trees and rocks. And if you didn't... Hey, look, a goat. Oh. Oh, we are in luck, folks. We have the Acrocanthosaurus eating a goat. Wonderful. What great timing. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful monster. Dinosaur is what I'm meaning to say. But let's go. Woo, the hilly locations here. Oh, folks, I'm sure if you're looking ahead, you see exactly who's coming up next. And instead of doing those big loops, let's just go on ahead. And last but certainly not least, in our USA section of the tour, we have a T-Rex who is also chowing down on a goat. Fantastic. I love it. The T-Rex in this game is just so beautiful. What do you say, folks? Should we get a closer look at the T-Rex? Let's get a closer look at the T-Rex. Oh, yes. You are quite fearsome. Moving on. Next up, we are going to Canada. And here you see the Edmontosaurus and a small herd of Chasmosaurus. We're coming up on the Corysaurus and the Styracosaurus, my next favorite ceratopsid. And then the Eusoplocephalus, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Recently added in the newest DLC. The only ankylosaurid to have a double-digit population limit. Very nice. Next up in our Canada section, we have the Albertosaurus. There's some other guys running around in here too. They're so tiny. Sorry ahead of time for any controller clicks you may be picking up on my... Oh, look at that. Also a recent addition in the new DLC. Hey, there we go. We got a Troodon zipping about. Troodon? Troodon? Nice little pack of Troodons running around. Onwards to the next paddock. Here we move on to... Oh, running into the gate. South America. I didn't do a very good job of trying to make each paddock look like its distinct country, continent that they're from, but you know, I tried a little something. As you can see there, we have the Carnotaurus running around, followed by the Dreadnoughtus, one of the more picky sauropods. And running around here somewhere, there we are. We have the Herrerasaurus. Small carnivores. Hey, this thing has a horn. I love the green skin for the Herrera. Oh God! And to the next one. Still in South America, we have the Gigantosaurus. Giganoto? The computer calls it Giganto. I like Giganto because it's a freaking big old dinosaur from a Spanish, quote, Spanish country. It's probably more Portuguese. I don't know. I can't remember exactly which part of South America it's from. Brazil, maybe? Who knows? I could probably look it up. Either way. Gorgeous. I love this paddock. Onwards. Where did I go next? Let's see. I'll remember once I see which dinosaurs are in here. Who do we have? We went to Europe. Right. Here we have the Iguanodons and Polycanthus. Oh! Beautiful, beautiful dinosaurs. And don't require a lot of space, so that's nice. Or other dinosaurs. Like, I could have easily just... Now, Here we are, still in our Europe formation. We have the Metricanthosaurus and Protoceratosauruses. Oh, here we have the Metries squaring off for dominance. Let's watch. Who will be the first to back down? Ah, the brightly colored one. Congratulations on being the alpha. And the Procerado is running around. Onwards to our final Europe, we have the Baryonyx. One of my personal favorites. I know a lot of people don't seem to like it. I don't know. Whatever. I like the fact that it's essentially a giant alligator. And I'm a Floridian. So, bring on the gators. And I also really, really love the inclusion of the wet feeder, the fish feeder for these guys. Now we move on to Australia. And the only Australian dinosaur on the list, the Motoborosaurus, probably one of the more colorful dinosaurs in the game. As you can see, that tree that I absolutely love is back. Look at a cute little Motoboro sleeping in the distance there. Onwards to Africa with the Kentrosaurus and the Oranosaurus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Both herbivores. The Orana recently added in the most recent DLC. A very, very beautiful addition. Onwards to our next African dinosaur, straight from Madagascar, the Majongosaurus, a small carnivore that has a ridiculously high freaking spatial need for how small he is. You're tiny, you don't need so much space. To clarify, that means I did not use the sandbox setting of being able to just put however much space or whatever. Like, everyone is meeting their spatial requirements and population social requirements. So, next African dinosaur. Africa's got a lot of big carnivores. We have the Cardontosaurus. I'm just going to go off-road here a little bit. Yes, you are fearsome. Look at you. One of the more interesting carnivores. And big enough that I understand its need for so much space. Now, probably my most favoritist African dinosaur. Straight from Egypt, the Spinosaurus. All the way in the corner there. So let's go off the beaten path to take a closer look at the Spinosaurus. Oh, where'd he go? Lo and behold, he came to us. Let's get away from that. Leave the Cardontosaurus alone. Oh, that is not the skin I thought it was when I picked it out. But you are a beautiful creature, and we love you. Moving on. And the last of the African carnivores, the Suchomimus. Let's take a closer look. Why are you running? Oh, look at that beautiful red color. It's great. Moving on. And now we move to Russia, where we have the Allura Titan and the Gallimimus. Now, the Gallimimus, I could have gone with either Russia or China. I decided to include it in the Russian one because the Allura Titan would have been all by itself. Nah, we don't need a closer look at the Allura Titan. Onwards. Pretty dinosaurs. No, I'm sorry. Those are not Gallimimuses. Wow. All you dinosaurs look alike. It's the other mimus. The Acroornithomimus. Arceornithomimus. I don't know. Whatever. It's not the Gallimimus. Now that I'm remembering. Jeez. Sorry about that. I know my dinosaurs. Here we have a special paddock of forgotten American dinosaurs. I feel kind of bad, but I forgot to include them in the initial USA lineup. We have the Pentaceratops and the Sauropelta. They seemed like a good fit because the Sauropelta has a population need of 4, or limit of 4, and the Pentas have a social limit of 3. So, hey, what do you know? Speaking of forgotten dinosaurs, this one was a bit difficult because you can find it in either America or Europe. Well, same could be said about the Stegosaurus, but I decided to include them in America. But I also just flat out forgot to include the Ceratosaurus, another small carnivore that requires way too much space, but is a lovely dinosaur. Moving on. Now we go to China, where we have the Mamenchi, the Gigantospinosaurus, our lone Gallimimus over there sleeping because he's a tired boy, a beautiful Chungkingosaurus, and the Sinoceratops. Aren't you lovely? There's some other guys in here too. Where are they? Ah, the Huanga, one of my favorite Spinosaurids, because look at that frickin' pattern. It's like a tiger. Arr. There's another Chungking, and the Sintao, a beautiful Chinese hadrosaur. Moving on. We have the Dilophosaurus. Look at him. Oh, somebody has low health. Why does somebody have low health? That's not cool. And here we have the Crichtonosaurus. I'm not sure if it's an actual dinosaur or made up in honor of Michael Crichton, the creator of Jurassic Park, the book. The creator, the writer, author, whatever. Moving on. We have the Velociraptor. A small pack of Velociraptors. Only 3, but very fearsome despite not being accurate to what the actual dinosaurs looked like. But that's fine because we love them anyways. Oh my god! Okay. Now we move on to the dinosaurs without a country. Okay. As I was saying, sorry if that seems like a hard cut. I had to figure out why I had dying dinosaurs, and the idiots weren't drinking water, so I had to make new water sources for them. But, as I was saying, let's move on to the dinosaurs with no country, because they are hybrids. First off, we have our herbivore hybrids, my absolute favorite of all time, the Stegoceratops, and there's the one that's my favorite of the colors, the Alpine. Look at that beautiful, beautiful bastard. And his herd, or her herd, whatever, its herd. And then I'm pretty sure you caught a glimpse, but let's get up close and personal with the Ankylodocus. A lot of people don't seem to like this dinosaur. I love him. He is derpy and wonderful, and despite not being able to fight for himself, definitely looks like he could hold his own in a fight with those spikes and that big club of a tail attached to a Diplodocus whip tail. Like, dude, you could kill a motherfucker with that. Moving on to the next hybrid paddock, we have the Spinoraptors. My personal favorite of the hybrid carnivores, because it's a great blend of two dinosaurs. And, you know, Spinosaurus and raptors. And I like the fact that it's aquatic. Look at the three of them there, feeding from the fish feeder. I love it. I have a soft spot in my heart for the aquatic carnivores. Should we take a closer look at them? Or are they all gonna run away? Beautiful. Moving on. Woo! I'm gonna be honest, I actually did not intend to include the hybrids, but oh, here we go. The Indoraptor. As I was saying, I wasn't going to include the hybrids at first because I didn't think there'd be enough space, and then ended up having a shit ton of space left over, so now they're here and they have giant freaking paddocks. The menacing Indoraptor. Personally not a fan, but I'm sure it has lots of people out there who are fans of it. And to each their own, I say. Tried to make a craggy, almost inhospitable look for it because that's just what that dinosaur makes me feel whenever I see it. And on your right, we have a dead goat. And now for the piece de resistance. The beautiful, big old white Indominus Rex. Look at her in all her glory. Now, for those of you that have seen the Jurassic World movies, knows that this is a terrible idea to have a open truck tour with the Indominus Rex around. But here we are, video game logic. Yes, you are terrifying. And that's it. That's the end of my tour. Big old paddock for this one dinosaur who doesn't like trees as much as you would think based off of the movie. But, you know, it is what it is. So, what did you guys and girls think of my park? I got every single dinosaur in there, even the ones that I forgot at first. Do you like it? Any ideas for parks? I'm thinking about revisiting my Florida park idea, just because now we have terrain tools. I can make it look more muddy and dirty, and there's palm trees, and I can actually use palm trees. And the fish dinosaurs actually, the aquatic dinosaurs actually require aquaticness, whatever. Yeah. But seriously, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you thought, if you have any great ideas. And if you have some parks that you have built, you know, link them into your comments. You know, show me what you got. Follow me at Captain Aaron on Twitter. Thanks, and bye-bye.